Good evening, and welcome to Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater. If you would please kindly take your seats, the show will begin momentarily.
And we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. How are you guys doing tonight? It's another episode of Masterpiece Shitpiece Theater. I'm your host, Nick Brammer, who wasn't supposed to be here tonight. Disney plans fell through, so I'm here. We have a short crew tonight. It's still four of us, but Sam is out doing Hobbit business, so...
Yeah,
and he is still not tall enough to ride.
Yeah, we're missing our shortest member of our crew.
Yeah. So
would you say we're a full-sized cast missing a short man?
Yep. That's how these things go. So,
one Oompa Loompa missing. May not be orange at this time.
So let's go ahead and get through intros, do these real quick, and get you guys some good content. Josh Fisher, where you at?
Everywhere, man. You can find me by my regular name on Facebook. And on my Facebook profiles, there are links to all my social media profiles that I use, such as Twitter and Instagram, Twitch, and other places. If you're curious about following me on those, go ahead and throw me a follow. You can also catch me every Friday on the All Queued Up podcast with my friend Greg. Published a new episode today. It's our uninhibited version. It's called Game of Infuriating Endings and the Butthurt That Follows, or I don't think the ass end of a slinky dog would be that satisfying. And in context, it makes total sense if you listen to the episode. So tomorrow, why don't you go ahead and do that? Other than that, stay here with us because we got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. And I'm done.
Sounds wonderful. Rob, tell them where you're at on the internet, please.
On the internet, no place lately. I've had my ass glued to a semi-seat for ridiculous amounts of time.
Oh, you poor bastard.
I got into work on Monday. They said, here's the super glue. That's where you're staying till Friday.
Yeah, they say if you got to piss, whip it out and go out the door.
That's what they make bottles for.
Indeed.
We don't want to see your ass until we say so. Otherwise, I'm on the Facebooks as Rob Milton and on the Instagrams as Rob's Hobbies. And here with you wonderful guys, making my shithole of a day so much better. Every Friday.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
A few months back, you had to drive another dude's truck, and you said it was disgusting. And you were saying something about having to stop, and I was just like, pee in a bottle. And you're like, no, that's gross. I'm not doing that. But now you're saying you would pee in a bottle because you were super glued to your...
Well, you'd have no choice.
When your ass is glued to the seat and you can't get up, what choice do you have? I ain't pissing on my floor.
It's CA glue, man. You could piss could probably eat through it.
Yeah, but then my seat would smell like piss.
Yeah.
Good point. That's just rotten.
It was the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to sit on a pissy seat. That's bad, dude.
Especially mine. Mine are nice and pristine in that truck.
All right.
Wow, nice.
She's so pretty, and I don't want to see her again until Tuesday.
I heard that. Russell the Love Muscle, where you at on the internet, brother?
What's up, you gorgeous bastards? I love you all. And I am here to tell you that you can find me on the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, and, of course, here every Friday night with East. And, yeah.
Brain fart.
Yeah, totally. I did have a brain fart. How'd you know? Hey, you know what, Josh? I thought I disguised it good enough. Don't point it out, okay? Anyway. No, yeah, and dude, I've had a rough fucking week too, so I'm just kind of like happy that it's Friday and it's a 3-day weekend. Walk away from work for a minute.
I hear that.
But yeah, man, and we're looking forward to this. It's gonna be a good show tonight. I think we're gonna have a good time. So Tune in, motherfuckers, and stay put. All right.
All right.
What's up, Nikki? How you doing?
What's up? You call me Nikki again, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you.
I love it. You know you love it, you sweet thing. Mwah.
Hey, Nikki, you're so fine. You're so fine. You
Here's the
blow my
thing.
mind. Hey, Nikki.
You don't complain a bit when Anna does it.
That's different. Pet names from a lover are different.
You know, like, I know. She like, I know. It's fine. And then I hear about her calling you, and I'm like, oh.
Anyways, guys, I'm Nick Brammer, Masterpiece Shitpiece. You guys know me in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group as Nick Brammer. I'm on Twitter as Brammer_Nick, and Instagram as Masterpiece_Shitpiece, and I'm actually gonna start using it soon. I got some shit to show y'all. Share.
Man, you can't do that because Russ gets banned from YouTube for that all the time when he does it.
Yeah, but it's Instagram,
Listen.
and they're a little bit more free flowing.
Yeah,
It's okay. They'll let you back on eventually. All right.
I'm gonna become an Instagram model.
Is the Instagram like the hippie version of like you know? It's like, oh yeah, we'll allow everything. Go ahead. I don't know.
All right.
So if you put a flower on the end of your penis, does it still count as nudity? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Well-
as long as you can see the shaft, you're in trouble.
What if you disguise that? What do you?
Well, you just need a dandelion then, Russ.
I know, right? It's like a little thing, I'll just put. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that because I'll get in trouble.
And I just
Anyway.
wanted to mention something real quick. We have Shoki in the chat, and I guess it looks like people are gonna find out who won Balls for Balls tomorrow.
Yes, they are. We got somebody on this show right now who may be winning something.
If Josh doesn't win, it was fixed.
Dude, not only was it fixed, it needs to be blown up and never done again. That's bad.
Yeah, come on now. I mean,
don't be
build
humble. Don't be
build it
humble.
up.
No.
Yeah.
Don't be humble.
Rob
Damn
was
right.
also into it.
Well, I just want to say we try to shout out charities and good deeds people in the realm are doing, and
Yeah, no, this was cool.
this was a great thing that Shoki put together, and hopefully I hope he had good participation. It seems like it, and I hope that next year he gets even more.
I'm hoping the extension gave him more people an opportunity to get in there too.
Yeah, that's true. Shoki was very patient with you fuckers.
Yeah, he is.
So,
I love you, Shokester.
Shogi said he had some stiff competition. I know. Josh in this stiff competition. It's fucking. Anyway, sorry.
so
Speaking
I
of
saw that
fundraisers,
there was no competition.
Yeah.
go ahead,
Thing was sick.
Josh. Go ahead.
Speaking of members of the realm and fundraisers, I just wanted to shout out Eric. They're doing the Kennedy's Village video game night fundraiser for sickle cell research. That is
very
live
cool.
now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Mortal Kombat 11, a video game tournament on Saturday, June 22nd. It's going to be, an on the site, but you can donate if you can attend, but you still want to help and donate, you can do so. Just, we'll put the stuff in the description, but I just wanted to shout Eric and his family out.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric's good people, big friend of the show.
Oh, he is, dude.
And
Yeah.
I love Eric.
We had him on a couple months ago to talk to you guys about Kennedy's Village and the good work that they do.
Mhm.
So if anybody else has anything charitable and they're within earshot of us wonderful people, let us know and we'll get you on here to talk about it.
Nick just called us all wonderful people. God, Nick, you're so nice tonight. What's up with that?
I'm trying.
It's because I got all the salt.
I am trying an experiment tonight. I am actually going to broadcast sober. So
What the fuck? You know what? I'm not drinking them either, Nick. So that's cool. I'm drinking coffee. So we're good to go.
See, I'm trying to be professional.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna.
speaking of, let's go ahead and
Yeah.
head right into news and start talking
All
about
right, let's
the
do it.
PlayStation 5. Rob, why don't you go ahead and take lead on this?
Biggest news we got this week was they announced the backwards compatibility, not only the ability to run some of the PS4 stuff, but to backwards play with PS4 players.
Mm-hmm.
That is fucking
That's huge.
Pretty cool, actually.
Now,
Yeah.
how far back for the backwards compatibility do they go? Is it just going to be PS4? Is it going to be PS3, 2, and 1, or what?
I could be wrong, but I think it was just back to the 4.
Okay.
Most likely it'll be just back to the 4. The reason why is because, like, if you look at the PS4 now and the prior titles that you can play that are available on it and digital download, there's very few titles from the PS2 era, but there's a lot of PS3, and there's a decent handful of PS1 titles, but hardly any PS2 because they use such radically different hardware.
Yeah,
they're using similar hardware to the 4. It'll be much easier, and there'll probably be a few 3 titles in there. But
the PS2 used that, was it a motion engine or something?
Right.
Their chipset, and I know they struggled with, because they tried with the PS3 to do backwards to PS2, and it would do PS1 just fine. But with the PS2 and having that emotion engine, they actually had to put a PS2 chipset in the early PS3s that were backwards compatible. Then they tried it later on with emulation and a couple of units, and then just said, nope, it ain't working, and killed it all off.
And here's the thing. Those early PS3s that did the backwards compatibility, I had one of those. And Sony was not going to release those. Those were bought, I think, Konami, because of the Metal Gear 4.
Yeah.
Because it was a launch title. I think they were the ones who had that put in.
Yeah, it was a big push with Konami, and
wasn't it early on too?
It was launch.
Yeah.
Essentially what you got, what you were getting when you got the early PS3s that had the full chipset in it was a dev unit.
Yeah.
Okay. Those were dev units.
And
without
sorry to interrupt, but didn't they have a pretty high fail rate on those ones?
They did.
Yeah, that's what
I actually got mine. I had mine for 5 years and sent it in for repair 3 times. After that third time, after I'd had it maybe 4 months, and it got back and it died again. And I was paying $90 to get it repaired because I wanted that backwards compatibility because I still had a lot of PS2 titles.
Yeah.
And I was still playing them.
PS2.
At that point, I just said, you know what? I paid $90 3 times to get this repaired. I paid $500 for this console. I'm sick and tired of this. And I just went out and bought a brand new, more recent PS3 that I still have to this day, 6 years later. It works just fine.
Yeah.
No, I still have my 80 gig backwards compatible, but that was after they took out the chipset and used the emulation, and it does not play PS2 well. It plays PS3 fine, but it does not do PS2 well. And there's some games that won't play at all.
So what you mean with this backwards compatibility? Actually, the PS5 is going to play PS4 games,
right?
And there will be the ability to cross-gen multiplayer PS5 and PS4 players.
That sounds,
the same game.
That sounds great, but now
that's never been able to be done before.
Yeah, I hope it works out, man. I hope it,
I can tell you though, that's probably a big reason they started buddying up to Microsoft with this Azure platform, because I have a sinking suspicion that's what they're using to make that happen.
I think you're absolutely right on that. And, if Sony can provide the technical know-how on how to do it, and Microsoft provide the infrastructure on the ability to make it happen, it's a win-win for gamers worldwide, man.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it should be about, though? Is just trying to...
It should be.
We're getting to a world, I think, where we're going to see people across all the consoles and PC up to including the prior single. I don't see them going any farther back than the prior generation. Like when we have a net, when if a PS6 comes out, you'll probably see them drop the support for the PS4. But you'll have 2 generations of consoles across the whole spectrum and PC be able to play together. That would be fucking sick.
That would be pretty awesome. Yeah.
But the current. Sorry, Nick.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the current plans right now for the PS4, even though the PS5 is in development, it's not going to see shelves this year. And if it even sees shelves next year, it'll be, winter.
Right.
Before the Christmas shopping season at the earliest. But they were saying that they still have games planned for development for release, major AAA titles for release for the PS4 for the next 3+ years.
Yep.
So it's not going away anytime soon, but
Yeah.
they're already working on the next thing. But, you know, a lot of positive news, and it seems like they're hitting all the right fucking strides.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that's exactly
Agreed.
what I was gonna say. Is that with them starting to play ball with Microsoft and Nintendo, I mean, we're getting into a golden age of gaming for consoles, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Now here's a question. Do you guys think that a lot of this has to do with the rise of all these battle royale games pushing so hard for that?
I think that it's contributing, but I don't think it's the main reason.
Okay.
I can see what you're saying, because I mean those are money generating games, and they have a lock on the youth market.
I think
Yeah.
Fortnite is back right on top, and like all the different streaming platforms, that's pretty much the number one.
It is.
And then
because
the top 5 are all battle royale games, aren't they?
I'm not 100% sure, but I know Fortnite took a knock when Apex Legends came out, but that was a flash in the pan. That was a flash in the pan. Just about everybody that was playing Apex Legends has gone back to Fortnite, and Apex Legends is struggling and limping along right now.
This is what I hear.
I think the other thing is that the oh god, Jesus Christ, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Superstar.
Oh yeah, the besides battle royale games, MOBAs. And the I didn't put it on the agenda, but very interestingly, what is it? They just announced today something is coming to the Switch. DC Universe Online will be coming to the Switch.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. All right.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So
No,
I think that's a good move for them, because I mean that's gonna be, I guarantee you that's gonna be their primary console.
Oh yeah, it'll be that's a perfect fit for the Switch.
Yeah.
I can tell you though, like watching the gaming space, I've seen the biggest push for unified platforming, for cross-platform and all that, coming from, like you said, MOBA, and then from these battle royales. Like first-person shooter guys, those guys are the first ones to say my console's better. You know, my console is this. It's like, okay, it's your Call of Duty box of choice. It's the same damn game. It does different platform.
Yeah, pretty much. It doesn't really change. But I think it's. I also think too that it's just you guys are probably right. Those type of games where everyone can play together. I think that's what people like to do. You know, like I remember my friend of mine that played was really big into World of Warcraft, and he liked to play with people. Like a friend, the people, and that was his favorite thing, was just the community aspect of it. You know, even though he told me that there's a lot of assholes,
there's a lot of assholes in the gaming community. Shocker.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I was
Get the fuck out of here.
Like, I guess World of Warcraft has got people that are really, really crazed about the game, and they get all. And I told myself everything. So
you guys complain about toxicity in the fucking gaming
League
community,
of Legends.
None of you motherfuckers play MOBAs, and it makes World of Warcraft, Call of Duty look like a kindergarten class. I'm telling you.
League of Legends is probably the most toxic fandom I've ever seen when it comes to online gaming.
I think Overwatch might take a pretty close second.
No, Overwatch, for the most part, most people I've seen in Overwatch are pretty friendly.
They are if you stick to anything that's not ranked. Once you get into ranked, fuck that.
And what about Fortnite, though? Fortnite players I heard are little assholes. There's a lot of little kids are like assholes.
Xbox Live generation, baby.
Dude, Master 69, I will come to your house.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Hey, Russ, isn't that your name in the chat now, New Master 69? You know why he's coming to your house, and it ain't to fucking kick your ass in Fortnite. He's wanting to steal your wife.
Yeah.
Well,
just while you're
bring it on. I got a sword. Yeah. Better hope you get out before I get the sword off the wall. It's all good.
You have to keep it on the wall?
Not fucking your dime store katana doesn't scare me.
My dying for katana. Oh, really?
Nick is gonna walk
Oh,
through your
shit.
door and stand there like this, and a couple seconds later, he's gonna have a bad dragon in his hand, and he's gonna be looking
You
at
ever
your
see-
wife.
I'm gonna slice you over like Han did to the Tauntaun. Stuff where he
Oh.
stuff that motherfucker. And I'm gonna say,
At least
"No,
I-
no,
He's gonna
it's
put you full of
outside."
mozzarella cheese and bake you like a shitty DiGiorno's.
At least,
You know what? Will you stop hating on DiGiorno? It's a
At
good
least I
pizza.
think I should smell better than a tauntaun. Josh,
It depends.
Yeah.
let's get into some discussion about the new Dark Crystal coming out.
Oh man, I am excited for this. It was announced back in 2017 that Netflix was working with the Henson family and Brian Froud, who was very huge into developing and bringing the original movie to life. And we've been given a release date and some photos. It is called The Dark Crystal, The Age of Resistance. It's premiering on Netflix on August 30th or the 31st. I can't remember, August 30th. Yeah. And we got some set photos, and it is a prequel.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
Oh, okay.
Yep. It is a prequel, and it's going to follow the story of three Gelflings as they discover the secret behind the Skeksis' power and undertake a quest to start a rebellion to save the world of Thra.
Dude,
And I'm fucking pumped.
yeah, I'm going to have to make the wife watch the original. She has not seen it.
You're kidding me.
I told you guys, like, when me and my wife got together, there were so many things she had never seen. Like, I had to introduce her to, like, The Godfather, Scarface, all that good shit. She had never seen Goodfellas. And, like, the thing is I like to cook. So, like, when we would do the mob movies, I would do, like, she would be in the kitchen with me, and I would, like, slice the garlic with the razor blade before Goodfellas. So,
Nice.
you know, so like she could be like, "Oh, that's where you got that from," you know what I mean? Shit like that.
That's cool. That's actually awesome. Shit.
Yeah.
Like,
You got
you guys gonna hate me for this.
gotta
but
make it fun.
I hated Dark Crystal when I was a little kid.
Oh, dude,
I
Dark
hate
Why
it.
did you get scared, Russ?
I just thought it was a stupid movie. I didn't like it. But then I watched it when I was a little older, and then I liked it. It's weird. I don't know. It's like I liked it better when I was older. I don't know.
Mhm.
And then when I saw it,
Because it was wonderful fantasy storytelling
I
done
guess.
brilliantly.
Yeah.
it could be I started getting like a nostalgic for the Muppets or something. I don't know.
Something in the same vein for me was that I had to grow into was shit. My memory's gone. See, I need to drink to keep my fucking memory going.
He's sharp.
Labyrinth.
No, not Labyrinth. Shit. Never mind. Let's move on.
But yeah, we got some great voice actors in it.
Yeah.
They're going to have voice talents of Helena Bonham Carter,
Nice.
Oh, no shit.
I love
Yeah.
her.
Harvey Firestein,
Yeah.
Yes.
Jason Isaacs, Eddie Izzard. Let's see, we got Keegan Michael Key, Simon Pegg,
Nice.
Andy Samberg, Mark Strong, and of course, Master Skywalker himself, the Joker, Mark fucking Hamill.
Are you
He's
sure?
voicing that
He's
shit
voicing
too.
something in it?
Yeah.
He is voicing it. As rumored, he is voicing one of the Skeksis.
Oh shit! No, I'm definitely gonna have to check it out.
And from what I can tell, these are the same Skeksis from the movies.
Nice.
From what I can tell, it's the same. Well, when the movie started out, there were 11, and then they dwindled to 10, and then 9 by the end of the movie, because the Emperor died, and then one of the others died.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be that core group, maybe a couple of others outside of them. But set photos have appeared to show some of the, like, it looked like the general. It looked like the one guy with the ritualist. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but the sad thing is I know all their names, like Skekung, and But I've also read the Dark Crystal comics, and they're pretty fucking good too.
So this is actually going back and doing the puppet animation too.
It is all practical effects, all
Yeah.
puppetry,
Oh yes.
exactly like the movie was
cool.
done.
Yeah,
And
I hope it has that same atmosphere, you know.
Yeah.
the set photos, it appears to have the exact same atmosphere. Entertainment Weekly has a post where you can go and see the set photos, and it looks like they've recreated the whole castle, the Crystal Castle set.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it looks amazing.
Hmm.
So if you were a big fan of the movie, or even a casual fan, definitely check it out because I'm fucking pumped for it.
Two quick things. I remembered the movie that I had to grow into as I got older that came out when I was a kid. In the Name of the Rose, with Sean
That's
cool.
Connery and Christian
Yeah.
Slater.
Yep, I know. I remember it. Yeah.
Like I was like, my uncle was showing it to me because it was dope when it came out, you know. But I wasn't into it. And
Yeah.
then, you know, as I got older, it's one of my favorites, especially Ron Perlman's character and that end scene with the fire. Oh, such a great flick.
That was a good movie.
And another little sidebar there. You mentioned Mark Strong. Have
Mhm.
any of you guys checked out Shazam?
Not yet.
Not yet, no.
I was very hesitant going into it.
Yeah.
But it's a decent movie. Shazam.
That's what everybody said.
Yeah. Shazam, like, of course there's a little corny moments, and it looks like Shazam's a family friendly movie. You know what I'm saying? It's decent, and Mark Strong plays a great villain again. You know, he plays Dr. Savannah, and you know, I was hesitant with Zachary Levy. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
When I saw him as Shazam in the set photos and everything, but he doesn't look as like the photographs look so fucking ridiculous, and then you see him in the movie and it works, man. I'm high on Shazam. To me, I have not seen Aquaman, but to me, after Wonder Woman, this is the best shit that they've done for DC movies.
Cool.
So,
Now, was this movie considered in the same universe as the Justice League?
yes, because there is a cameo at the end that ties into it.
That's interesting because, like, I thought it was going to be too cheesy, so I thought that they were going to put it kind of separate from the universe because they seem like they're taking the DC movie universe so serious that it's like yeah, the Marvel can get away with it because they're a little tongue in cheek with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes to a flaw, you know, but I thought DC was so serious. I just assumed that this was not going to be part of that. You know, but it's kind of cool that it is. That's just
it definitely ties into the main DC stuff, and like you were mentioning, like I was worried that it was going to be so fucking corny that I was just going to turn it off.
So this is like their Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing.
probably maybe, you know,
Yeah.
close.
It has a similar tone, but like, yeah, I'm high on Shazam. I really am.
Right,
I think it was. I think, and again, I haven't seen Aquaman, but it's the second best thing I think that DC's done movie wise.
Is it still in the theaters right now?
In the new stuff. It
Or is it gone?
It was in the movie theater in my house. We'll say that.
Oh, okay. Silly me. Of course, he's like, Nick's like, fuck, I'm going to the movie theater. Get out of here.
Brammer Cinemas.
I'll probably check. I'll check it out when it comes out. I mean, I'll wait and stream it or something, or like that. I'll see it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll watch it online. Yeah. Like, not that I'm supporting anything like that. That would be very wrong.
Very bad boy.
This is a PSA from Russ to Muss.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Josh introduced us into something that was really interesting. In Brazil, there's a Renault commercial.
Interesting is an understatement.
I haven't had to see the commercial yet. I was wondering what that was about.
Dude, it is cool. That's all I can say. It's cool, man.
It's no Dacia Sandero. I knew Russ would get that one.
Hey,
If you can see my face, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Russ is dying over there.
yeah. So
Rob, you're fucking crazy, dude.
that must be their safe word, Nick.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Good news.
right.
The
That's what-
Dacia Sandero.
But yeah, Josh, why don't you go ahead and explain what this is?
Oh, shit.
Well, basically, the French car company Renault made
Renault.
Renault.
Renault. I apologize. I don't speak fucking French.
How come it's because they don't have an L and a T in the fucking word?
Yeah, but that is correct. It is pronounced Renault. I always forget that though.
The T is silent. We are French.
If you pronounce it in English, you say the L and the T.
Well, to appease Rob and his car culture, I will call it Renault, spelled Renault. But they're a French car company. They have a new small size SUV called the Quid Outrider, and they have made, I think it's a series of commercials.
Right.
This first one that debuted is 1 minute and 45 seconds long, and it is a live action commercial of the Dungeons and Dragons 80s cartoon. The kids from the cartoon, Hank, Eric, Diana, Sheila, Bobby, and Albert, aka Presto, and fucking Uni the Unicorn, Dungeon Master, Tiamat the Dragon, and Venger on his fucking horse are in this commercial.
Oh.
It is amazing. The costumes have been recreated to be like real world accurate based on the animation, and the actors they got to play these kids look like they just walked out of the fucking TV and into the real world.
That's why I thought they did a really good job on that. I was like, God, they look just like them.
Yeah.
Damn.
All that for a cheap ass crossover.
Yeah.
It is amazing. But what was interesting to me, I found out that while that cartoon was popular here and when we were kids,
Right.
in Brazil, it was a cultural fucking phenomenon.
You know, isn't that funny how that works? Sometimes we forget how big shit is overseas, dude. I'm
Do
telling
you
you.
remember how big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got, for instance, when it first came out in the late 80s, early 90s, when it first started gaining popularity?
Yep.
Getting a foothold on things.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you. Think of the D&D cartoon like that, but in Brazil. They still love that and adore that fucking show. And in fact, that new the new statues that they're coming out with that you've seen, they're being made by a company. The statue company that's making them is called what? Iron something. Iron Studios, and they're based out of Brazil, and they work with companies that license out their properties for statues, such as Disney, Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. So the character rights, we never got continuation of the cartoon or anything, but remember the toy line, we had LJN toys back in the day,
right?
And
that
they
was
smell
done.
weird?
Yeah, they did.
That was the one thing I remember of the D&D toys. They smelled so weird. Sorry.
They smelled just like the early WWF wrestling figures, that rubbery, weird chemical
They
smell.
were LJN.
Yep.
But the thing is, see, the LJN figures went in production and started being released in early 83. The cartoon didn't come out till like September of 83. So because they made those characters separate after the toy line deal had already done, that's why we never got any toys from these characters. They couldn't retroactively go back with the rights to make them. So the rights to the characters reside with whoever owns the rights to D&D, which is ultimately Hasbro at this point.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Hasbro
because
owns
Wizards of the Coast, TSR owns D&D. They sold to Wizards of the Coast in '96. Wizards of the Coast sold to Hasbro in 1999.
Oh no!
Now D&D has been very, very popular in the past 20 years. They've had a resurgence from hell in the past 20 years, and right now it's probably the most popular it's ever been ever.
Yeah, I promised myself I was going to really stop bashing Hasbro a lot, but the problem with Hasbro having that license is they're probably not going to do anything with it.
Oh, dude,
that's what I worry about, because you see this amazing commercial and how good it looks.
Yeah,
now, I've been watching Game of Thrones for the past week now. I've gone through 5 seasons. This commercial, the production value on this less than 2-minute commercial is just as good as that fucking show.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And I watched that last night. And I said, you know what? I don't know whose dick needs to be sucked, but point me in the right direction. I'll take one for the team to get a fucking live action series. I'll take one for the team to get a live action series or a fucking movie trilogy of this in that fashion. Make it fucking happen.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just like that. No money for this one. Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, Josh. Did they continue the cartoon in Brazil, or did it stop the same time it stopped for us?
The cartoon only had 27 episodes. Yeah. They had a finale written, but ABC canceled, or CBS canceled it before it actually was released. Wow. But the original voice cast did a reunion at a Comic-Con about 15 years ago. And they did an audio recording, an audio drama of the episode. So there is an official ending to the story. It was written by the head story writer. So there is an official ending. If you were one of the people who bought the DVD box set of the cartoon back in about 2007, like I did, or 2008, you can listen to it because it's on a disc that you can listen to it.
That's pretty cool that they did that. That's really awesome, because there's a lot of hardcore fans of that show.
Dude, yeah, I'm one of them.
I wasn't I liked it, but I wasn't like a hardcore fan of it. I thought it was a cool show. But I just, but I know there's a lot of people that were. I remember a lot of people talking about it. It was kind of crazy.
That cartoon and the movie Dragon Slayer. And the movie The Sword and the Sorcerer.
Yeah, all this stuff.
Those things came out 81, 82, 83.
Yeah.
That's the shit. And the Dark Crystal. That's the shit that got me into fantasy stuff. And I've always been into it ever since I was 5, 6, 7 years old. That shit hit the right time for me. I love it. Yeah. And that's why I always thought He-Man was too damn goofy, because this shit was so badass. I thought He-Man was too goofy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, compared to a lot of that stuff, yes, I could see why He-Man was very be that way. But no, that's interesting, man. I go to show you how stuff over here. There's things that we as in America we just reject, and it has a huge cultural phenomenon, in other countries, and that's wild, man.
I think that the biggest thing with that cartoon was one of the reasons I loved it so much was it was a lot darker than what you saw in the other Saturday morning cartoons.
Well, it was.
Definitely had some moments, man, where I was like, wow.
The Dragon's Graveyard? Yeah, Avenger was scary as fuck.
Was scary,
But in the episode of Dragon's Graveyard, Hank's actually telling Dungeon Master, we're going to stop him once and for all, whatever it takes. They're talking about killing Avenger.
Damn right.
In a kids cartoon on Saturday morning. Yeah. So that show was one of the best, and it was well written.
Yeah.
Even now, those episodes still hold up. Yeah, there's a few corny things here and there, but overall, that show holds up. Whereas shows like Transformers and G.I. Joe, nope.
They're spotty at best, and I'm a G-Runner for life. But
I am too. But it's not a well-written series, with the exception of the original pilot trilogy and a couple of multi-part episodes.
I'm not going to have this debate with you. The original Transformers cartoon was great for so many reasons.
Season 1.
Season one was what was mainly what I talk about, but I don't know. Season 2 had some pretty good episodes.
Had some good moments, and even
had a couple of good ones. Yes,
and season 3 had some of the best episodes in the series.
Also had some of the worst.
Best written, but poorly animated.
True, but poor animation was part of it. Everything had poor animation. Back in the day. I mean, that was not, but I mean, but I understand what you mean, though. I get it.
Yeah, I mean it's a show that you can watch all 27 episodes
Yeah.
of and feel satisfied after each and every one.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Whereas
Plus the
something
continual
like
storyline.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
another thing.
it's a loosely based continual storyline. The ultimate goal is they're always trying to get home.
Right.
You know, but each episode also stands strongly on its own.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree with you. That was what I think I liked about it. Was each episode was there was a good story development, of overall, and it was character development in that show too. They actually remembered what they wrote 3 episodes back. This character was and remembered it, and you could see the payoff later on. So that was good. That commercial, by the way, is epic, and I thank you for introducing me to it, because I like when I see shit when I get to see shit like that, and I wouldn't have ever seen that if it wasn't for you. So thank you. I really enjoyed it.
And like the one thing real quick I just want to mention is Josh talked about it, like how well done it was. Like Venger doesn't look corny. Tiamat looks awesome.
Yeah.
And it's
Venger was also voiced by Peter Optimus fucking Prime Cullen.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's true. God, he was in everything, dude.
Hey, Welker was Uni.
Yeah.
Was he really? I know. See, I did not know that. Did really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. God damn, dude. They were both of them were in everything.
Yeah, Cullen and Welker, and even Susan Blue, man. Like Susan Blue played the mother of the psychic teenager chick in fucking Jason 7.
Did she?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I had no idea that was her. No shit.
Yeah, because I was just watching it. I was just throwing it on the other day because that's one of my favorite Jason looks. So I was looking at it, seeing if I could do something for a custom for it. And yeah, Susan Blue played the mother of the teen.
That's like Dan. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, dude. I was on.
That's like Dan. Was it Dan Gilvezan too? He was in fucking everything.
Yeah.
The guy that voiced Bumblebee.
Yep.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah.
All right, we had some interesting trailers drop this week.
Yeah.
We had a great SJW trailer of Terminator drop.
What?
That is.
That no. Come on now.
Hey, gotta talk about shit that's happening. But yeah, I was stoked about that Terminator trailer.
Dude, that trailer is sick as shit.
I find it difficult to attach a SJW description to the Terminator trailer because aside from Ellen Ripley, Sarah Connor was the next action hero female badass.
Dude, she was. You could just drop the female part. She was just action hero.
Exactly.
Badass.
Yeah. Exactly.
What's really funny about her though?
Oh,
really cool. No. What I love about what they did with that character is in the first Terminator, she is when you see her evolution. Okay, go from this pathetic woman running for her life and is just scared shitless.
Well, she was a very young girl too.
She was right. That's right. You're right, and you get to see this evolution. By the time you get to Terminator, you get to Judgment Day, she's a whole different person, dude.
Yeah,
she's a cold-blooded bitch.
Yeah, man, he's badass, dude, hands down.
You know what? Talking about Linda Hamilton, what really reminded me of Linda Hamilton, like adjacent, was Laurie Strode in this last Halloween movie.
Yeah,
that one yet.
Yeah, fucking like it has that element of going crazy, trying to protect your child from something nobody else believes is real.
Yeah,
It really reminded me of Sarah Connor.
Yeah, you're willing to do anything and everything. And even though people think you're nuts, which remember in Judgment Day she was in a psychiatric hospital,
yeah,
because they thought she was a wackadoodle, So, I mean, of course, who wouldn't? Her stories.
Well, it's been fucking 8 months, so we can talk about Halloween now, I think. But like,
I think so.
It's very similar to the new Halloween movie, like Lori had her daughter taken away from her by the state because she was raising her
Right.
as like a survivalist to prepare for Michael.
Prepare for Michael.
Tuesday
Yeah.
prepper.
Yeah, and so like and then like Lori's house is just like a giant like Michael Myers trap. You know what I mean? Like she's got fucking
Yeah.
floodlights on top of the house.
Yeah.
She's got a
Yeah,
fucking
she said-
firing range there. She's got like a whole arsenal. So it was like
She's-
it was kind
you
of
can- It goes to how. I'm sorry to interrupt, but it goes to how you can see going through what she went through.
yeah.
Totally fucking changed her. It made her absolutely like petrified of this guy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, with good reason, obviously, but to the point where she was willing to just go all out to dedicate her life to preparing. If this motherfucker comes calling again, I'm fucking him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the same. Like I said, it's so
Yeah.
Sarah Connor-esque.
It is.
That was
It
what she was preparing her entire life for Judgment Day, for the coming of these machines.
And look what she and how she taught her son. I mean, she was basically raising her son and had men around her son to teach him how to be this little, you know, of course he's trying to be a little prick, but whatever.
He redeemed himself by the end of the movie.
Yeah, a little bit. He was all right.
Yeah.
He was all right. I thought he was just a little asshole in Judgment Day, but you know, it's all good. But yeah, no, I'm excited, dude. That bringing her back into the fold, like, and bringing back the real Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no offense. I like seeing Daenerys Targaryen playing us. And the other movie was kind of, you know,
See,
I can't-
to me, Genesis wasn't that bad.
I
liked Genesis.
I enjoyed it.
I like Genesis. I didn't hate on it. It's just when you're used to seeing an actor period play a role, and if someone else plays it, it's kind of weird a little bit. I thought she did a good job because she's meant to play her in a different part of her life. You know, I get it, and almost like an alt timeline too.
They created, it was her as a teenager,
right?
And then it created an alternate timeline,
right? My question to you guys is, how many more times are they going to drag old ass Arnold out to play this role?
9 times.
I don't know if he's a Terminator in this.
Yes,
I
He
think
is.
dude. I think he is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
but he's not the primary. Like, I think it's almost, looking at the trailer, it almost seems like a cameo of sorts, because the primary focus is on this other girl who winds up being a machine that she doesn't even realize she is.
Right.
And then this other antagonist Terminator that does that morph thing he does where he sheds half of himself and replicates himself. Oh, that was sick.
Yeah, that whole scene, and it was kind of like a little bit of a throwback to T2 with the
T-1000.
Yeah, with the T-1000 with the the T-1000 had the wrecker. This guy had that 18-wheeler. It was pretty cool, man.
I thought it was a scene out of Transformers for a second there. Remember how they did in Age of Extinction? They turned them into Lego pieces.
What was the one? Was it T3 where they had the girl Terminator in the fucking crane, ripping the crane through shit?
Yeah.
But she had a similar, like, she didn't morph into a second, like a clone, but she had a lot of that similar.
She could actually form live action tech, like parts and shit.
Right. Remember the one in the one in Judgment Day. He could form like weapons like swords and things, but he couldn't. Remember, he said he couldn't do complex like mechanical things, but she could. She was like another evolution.
Yeah,
I think because she could form stuff. That's really cool, man.
I'm hyped for this Terminator movie.
Yeah, me too. It's getting me back into it hardcore again.
Yeah, and like 3 and 4 were whatever, but I really enjoyed Genesis. I thought that was a good one.
You know what's funny, Nick? I heard a bunch of hate, and then when I watched it, I was like, "Why? I don't think this was worth all the hate it got."
No.
I thought it was cool. I said it was a little weird drawing for me to see, like, because I'm so used to it. Like, again, I'm so used to seeing Linda Hamilton playing. You know, when you're used to seeing an actor do it, it's a little odd when you see someone else do it. But she did a good job playing the role.
Yeah, she did.
I thought she did great. You know. Um,
And
It was a little jarring for me seeing John Connor become the bad guy, though.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was heartbreaking.
But
and I love that actor. He's
Yeah.
he's gonna be in the new Pet Cemetery. He's playing the
Yeah.
dad.
Oh, Jason Clark.
Yeah.
that's him. But he's
I hadn't seen that Terminator movie yet, but
It's
oh,
good.
I'm sorry, we just totally gave it away to you. I'm sorry, dude. We spoiled you.
okay.
I apologize. It's been
I
like
ain't worried
2
about it. I wasn't in the rush to see it.
I was messing with you.
Dude, it's a hell of a ride. Watch it anyway.
Yeah.
definitely.
You'll like it. I think you'll like it, Josh. It's typical Terminator. You'll love it. It's got a lot of cool shit in it.
All right. Also, to piggyback off this Terminator trailer, did you guys see in South Africa some little fucker try to drop kick Arnold?
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
Oh
He
my
did.
god, he fucking drop kicks Arnold and he doesn't even move.
He
He's
like
3 inches. Like, what the hell? Was
he
that?
went forward a little bit, and then it's like, but it's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Because that guy came running at him too, y'all.
Yeah.
He hit him with some force. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean that was some fucking rock and roll express shit trying to
Yeah.
fucking drop that drop kick like that. And
Well,
Arnie,
he's got a
like he's in his 70s, man. And
Yeah.
he's still
but-
like a
but
brick.
he's still a big dude, though, man.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
still a big dude. He's still got some. I mean, I'm sure he ain't as tight as he used to be, but he's still got some muscle under there, dude. They don't go away. You don't just lose that shit. It stays around.
that dude is still lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
he's
to
a
the-
powerhouse, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying he probably done. I'm sure there's some stuff that's sagged, but whatever. I bet he's still strong as shit, though.
in like he did an interview afterwards.
He might have a normal size scrote from after all those roids now.
Hey, maybe they dropped. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
He did an interview after this incident happened, and he was like, and they were the first question they asked him, they're like, "Are you going to press charges on Arnold?" And he's like, "No, I just hope that this young man gets his life together and he understands how stupid this was." You know?
Yeah, that's code for I could have snapped that kid in two, but
I was just thinking this. It was like, yeah, he's probably thinking it's a good thing my entourage pulled me out, or I would have broke his fucking neck.
I'm lucky I'm in a good mood and I'm here to support these athletes trying to do. Yeah, I'm not worried about this little punk.
It was fucking nuts, man.
It'd have been funny if you had picked the kid up by a living and just said, "Who is your daddy and what does he do?"
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Instead, he just looks at him and says, "I'll be back."
Oh shit, Josh is going, dude. Oh man.
Beat him so
You're just
bad
a
that he goes
tumor.
home with a growth on his head.
It's fucking wonderful,
What?
dude. Oh my god.
They're like, "What is that? It's not a tumor."
Oh my god, it's wonderful,
It would have
man.
been funny if Arnie picked him up and was like, "Come with me if you want to live."
Break his leg, snatch him up. Let's get to the chopper.
Oh god.
But yeah, fucking Arnold, man, still fucking just beast.
Dude, he's a big guy though. I mean,
Yeah.
I think people don't realize he's tall. He's he's just a big motherfucker. And like I say, even at 70 years old, I mean, I'm sure he's lost some mass. But
Dude, I think he's like 76.
But he's a big frame guy too.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, he's not gonna. Ain't like he's gonna shrivel up to nothing.
No, and he's still lifting. He may not. I mean, it's not competition lifting, but that motherfucker's still in shape for a 70-some-year-old dude.
He's 71.
71.
Yeah.
Sorry, 71.
That guy's gonna die, and they're gonna have to do a quadruple sized coffin for his big ass.
Well, he's 6'2", so it's not like he's a giant or anything.
No, he's not. But 6'2" but he's thick, Josh.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
wide, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Square.
Yeah.
exactly. He's got that.
And he's,
He's got that trapezoid build still.
even when he's just even for an older guy, he's still in really. I tell you what, he might be the best fit, muscular wise, probably 71-year-old guy you'll come across probably.
Dude,
Man,
True that.
man.
and fucking Sly is still in shape too, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Dude, when I saw him in John Rambo, because he used to be he was ripped, but he was a smaller dude.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He
You
was
see him
more
in
fun.
John Rambo, and that motherfucker bulked up.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Good
Yeah.
God.
I don't know, dude. And I'll tell you what, man. In Rocky 3, dude, when he got the pretty different that movie, he got so lean but cut. It was ridiculous how cut he was. It was like, I mean, his abs were just crazy. I was like, this dude has been pounding the weights, boy. Damn.
Yeah, he's another one that's got to be pushing 70, and he's still just fucking ripped.
Yeah, he's up there. It's cool to see some of those guys stay in good shape, because they were like heroes of ours, from our childhood. So it's like, stay on the pedestal.
And they're both dope in the Expendables.
Yeah.
Stallone will be 73 in July.
Shit, he is that old.
Dude. That's crazy, dude. That's insane, man. You're right, though. He still looks pretty. He's pretty good. He's in pretty good shape still. He's got.
Hey, we're getting invaded by hobbits.
God. What is up, Samuel?
Hey. What's up, big guy?
What's up, everybody?
How
many roller coasters did you tell you? They tell you couldn't ride.
Dude, I put my son on one and he hated it.
He's like, yo, Dad, you never do that again. I'm done.
Yeah, we put him on that little thing where it's like the little cars go around the circle and they go up and down. And he as soon as it started, he was like, "Get me off! Let me off!"
Kid, your friend can't ride with you, but that's my dad.
Yeah. It was cool.
Hey, what kind of 4-year-old has a beard that bushy?
Yeah.
Have you seen Florida?
Other than a scary ass ride, did he have a good time?
He did, yeah, man. He ate like 15 snow cones and played some games.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was cool, dude. He had a good time.
Yeah, that's fun. That's good, man.
How you guys doing, man? Everybody good?
Good, man.
I'm whelmed. I'm not underwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. I'm just whelmed,
dude. Shout out to Young Justice, man.
Indeed.
Why don't more people say that? How are you? I'm whelmed.
That's the first time I heard it was on Young Justice. Robin said it, man.
Yeah.
That's actually
he said that same thing. He said, when is anyone just whelmed?
Just whelmed, not underwhelmed or overwhelmed.
Just whelmed, dude. Yeah.
Walt in the chat says, "Look at Vince McMahon." Yeah, Vince is pretty jacked still too.
Jacked MF,
dude, he's in his 70s too, and I think in his 60s he did that cover of Muscle and Fitness where he had like the Hercules chain around his neck.
Yeah.
So Sam, you've missed a bunch of discussion. What's your thoughts on Sly Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger's peckers?
Yeah,
dude, I don't think I've seen Arnold's, man. I've seen Sly's, but I guess not much to say.
Hey, peckers are pecks, man.
Dude, I'm a big Rocky fan though. So
oh hell yeah,
yeah. There's just great movies
since I was a young buck, dude.
Well, what's your favorite Rocky movie?
Dude, Rocky Balboa, the one that came out in 2006.
You like that one?
Yeah,
that's
like
pretty
that
cool.
too.
Okay.
The first one would be it's a super. It's basically like a tie for first with those two, with Rocky Balboa and Rocky 1. But it's like, who the fuck comes back after like that many years of doing a movie? And it's like they went through the stages. Rocky 1 got and someone correct me. It's like it got nominated for best screenplay. In one. So and then they had Rocky 2, and then from Rocky 3, 4, and 5 it turned campy, right? And then they went 20 years and came back with Rocky Balboa, and that movie was fucking stellar. And it's like, and then they came back with Creed. I still haven't seen Creed 2, but Creed 1 was good, man.
Yeah, Creed is good. I haven't seen Creed 2.
But Rocky Balboa, it's like that movie just hits me in every feel I got in my body, dude, because it's like being. Well,
maybe we can all relate. I mean, he's an older guy.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Well, correct me if I'm wrong. That was the whole thing where they did a simulation of Rocky, and then versus the guy that's the current champion, and in the simulation, Rocky wins, right?
Dude, that movie, I think for me also, like, it came out in a time in my life where like I was sophomore in high school, and I was wrestling, and that was like my shit, right? So it's like that movie. I was like, the movie just like says what I'm feeling as a competitive, as an athlete, as a, like competing and everything. And it's like, because he talks like he's like, I still got like the beast inside me or whatever. Yeah. And it like still has more to say. And I was like, dude, I 100% completely understand exactly what you're saying, you know. And it was cool, man.
playing in
just
the background.
relate. Yeah, just to,
Right, like,
yeah.
I don't know.
And like the thing about all the Rocky movies is like the only one you can really say was a misstep was 5, and you can still watch that shit.
No, it's
Yeah.
still good,
Yeah.
man. And it's like Rocky 4, like it's cheesy, it's really cheesy, but I think like it fits its time that it came out in.
dude, yeah,
You know
that
Which
what I
one was
mean?
Ivan? Which one was Ivan
That
Drago?
was 4.
That's 4.
Yeah.
I like that one, dude.
Yeah,
Especially the
dude.
scene where he's training in Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that, yo,
and
that,
fucking
that's
rolling
great.
log.
Like me, I dig all that shit, but I look at that movie through like a certain lens. I'm like, okay, there's like
Yeah.
a lot of like you got to look at the time when it came out, and like
That's
I feel like
true.
you got to be like a Rocky fan to enjoy it, man. But it's like
Yeah.
but even in Rocky Balboa, like the speech he gives to his son, where he's
Yeah.
like talking about like how like just basically like the world doesn't give you any breaks or it, right? Like I mean that like defines like the way I parent, like the way I am as a teacher, like that speech, like it, and that's the thing, because like he can like show all these emotions and verbalize them in a way that I couldn't until I saw that stuff, you know. So it's like that, like Sylvester Stallone, like that. I feel like that dude gets a bad rap, but like he's obviously like a really talented writer, director, actor. Like I feel like he gets hated on because he's like in a lot of these like goofy 80s action movies, you know.
But I see. I don't hate on him for that. I kind of love him for that because
Yeah.
No, I
love-
don't.
I love-
I'm not saying I do. I'm saying people do. You know.
no, I agree with you. But I
Yeah.
love Rambo. I loved, I was a huge Rambo
dude,
fan. Jesus,
like-
God, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Rambo. And and then of course, I mean, the Rocky movies are amazing. And I mean, yeah, you guys even seen, was it Tango and Cash? You guys ever
Yeah.
seen it?
Dude, I
That's one
love
of
that.
my-
movie.
Dude, Cobra.
Cobra
was
great.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cobra was
And like the
incredible.
thing about First Blood that always hits me is the end when he's talking
Yeah.
when he's talking
That
talking
speech?
to Richard Crenna.
Yeah.
It's not over. Yeah, that shit fucking gets me, man.
Dude,
Yeah, he's-
they got a movie coming out what next year? A new Rambo movie?
Yep.
that's what I hear. I know.
Dude,
I'm trying to-
and Arnold, I don't know what he's doing like movie wise, but
a new Terminator.
that dude's cool. That dude's cool as fuck. Like just on a personal level, because like he advocates for a lot of like after school programs and things
Yeah.
like that, which like for a lot of kids in like certain like socio-economic backgrounds, like that stuff's vital, man, and it keeps people alive. And like he advocates for a lot of that stuff and puts a lot of his money behind it. So like he's okay in my book.
And like
Yeah, he's good. He's a good dude, man.
Mm-hmm.
like
No, I'm on live right now.
he also like how socially conscious he is with the whole
Oh hell yeah, dude! And I think
the whole thing about like he identifies himself as a Republican, but like he has some he's
but
like
he actually gives a shit about other people.
yeah,
Yeah.
like his
Yeah.
whole thing he's campaigning against gerrymandering and shit like that, which is
Yeah.
which is
I think
important.
He's got an interesting perspective because he's not born here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and let's be honest, man. If he was born here, he might have been president before this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, Arnold's okay in my book because he gives smaller people a voice who don't necessarily have one. You know,
Exactly.
and I think that's just important.
He's a lot more. He fits a lot more with what realistically is the majority of the rest of us.
Yeah.
We all fall somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, definitely, because he has like I'm sure like with like fiscal things, he's probably like leans more Republican, but then when it comes to like social issues, he's probably more liberal and more progressive.
Plus, didn't he bang his maid too and knock her up and has like an illegitimate kid?
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta love that. That's great. That's like I got the
and that
movie on
kid looks
itself.
exactly like him.
Yeah, I
even
saw
more,
that.
even more than Patrick does.
Yeah, it's
No
like,
shit.
go ahead.
Yeah, the one he had with
Yeah.
the maid looks like a constantly tanned Arnold.
Yeah.
Oh
it's-
damn.
Yeah, because she was Mexican, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that kid. All that kid has to do is buff up a good bit. He's gonna be like a
Yeah.
spinning image.
Yeah,
of dad.
dude, he's gonna be in the next Terminator movie. Just watch.
Here they are, just like, this is your son. I was like, that's not my kid.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, fuck this Disney make you younger face print shit. We're like, we got the young Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold should have been on Maury Povich.
You are not the father.
What do you mean I am the father?
That'd be funny,
My
man.
sperm, it is so strong. It went through the condom.
What you guys been
funny.
talking about, man? You've been talking about some 80s movies.
Well, we were talking about the new Terminator trailer.
Yeah.
And it went theater just like it always does.
yeah, I can tell. I mean, I watched it, and I'm not. I loved Terminator 2. Obviously, I loved that Terminator Salvation movie.
Yeah, it was a good.
I thought that shit was good, but I'm just a Christian Bale fan, so I'm super biased. But I think this, I mean, it looked okay. The Terminator Genesis movie, I thought was dumb.
I like.
You didn't like Genesis, really?
I mean,
All right, Sam, you can go back to your hole.
All right, it was. I mean, I thought I enjoyed. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy it, but like to me, it was just like a dumb popcorn flick. You know what I mean?
Most movies are kind of like that, though.
Yeah. And I guess that's about the same where Terminator Salvation was too. Like they're both like I look at them both the same. Like I didn't think either of them were bad, but I didn't think either of them were like.
None of them top T2. T2 is arguably the best.
Like I'll say this, like they're movies that I'll turn on, like and just to have like background movies when I'm like fucking sweeping and mopping, you know.
Oh, I fucking that,
I swear. Oh
Them
my god.
teacups fucked your neck up, huh?
Dude, I'm telling you, man. That felt good too.
Hey, Sam, don't do that, man. I was reading a report not too long ago that a guy was doing that and broke his fucking neck.
Yeah.
And then he lost his leg, or half of it.
Dude, this year, man, in fucking wrestling practice, I like took this kid down because he was talking to my class earlier that day, so I was mad at him. Just beat the brakes off from that day in practice, and I told him I was gonna do it too, and I fucked up my neck, dude. Like it's like hit straight on, and then like for like a week I couldn't turn my head.
Oh shit!
I gotta be careful.
So who got the brakes beat off of him that night?
You're gonna end up, you better be careful, dude. You're gonna end up like me.
He's got the greatest teaching job ever. Are you telling me you had a kid that pissed you off in class and you got to fuck him up in wrestling practice?
Dude, that's the thing. I've like said that to other teachers. I'm like, I got these kids like who are on my wrestling team. Like, if they ever fuck around in class, like I literally can like legally just put my hands on them and not getting any kind of trouble for it. I love it, man. And it's like it doesn't matter. It'll be like the kids who weigh like 95 pounds up to like the heavyweights and stuff, dude. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm not gonna tear you up today.
Sam's like, come here, I gotta show you something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you say? Sam only weighs 96 pounds, so what's the difference?
All right, here's another sidebar. Now you're talking about how you're able to fuck these kids up. You're not oil checking these kids, are you?
No way, dude.
Every time. Every time.
That's cheating to me, man, because I feel like if I needed to do that, because like I'd be in some trouble. You know what I mean? If I was wrestling with another grown-ass man and I was getting tired, hey.
That's different.
Middle school kids, man, fuck them, dude. I don't care how good they are.
So you were able to
I ain't gonna let these kids beat me.
I love it.
I ain't gonna let these kids beat me, man. I'll be mean, dude. And I tell them like they'll be getting mad at me like in practice. I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do? Like these kids are gonna wrestle, 2 days from now in our dual meet. They're gonna be trying to kill you too. Yeah. Like, what do you want me to do?
Wrestlers are savage, dude. They really
get them
are.
ready, man. You got to get them ready.
They are. I couldn't cut it. I tried, and I was like, "Fuck this! This is not. I'm gonna go play football. This is not, football's way easier.
Football is way easier.
It is.
I was doing both at the same time. I played high school football and high school wrestling.
You're a fucking.
Nick,
when I was in high school,
when you went to high school, man.
Huh?
Nick, what state were you in when you were in high school? Okay, I don't know how big. I know like wrestling's huge, like in like New Jersey. In like Pennsylvania and Ohio and stuff.
No sport is big in Massachusetts. You're not gonna find many pro.
Damn, really? In like New York too. Wrestling's big in New York, and then like in the Midwest. But
I watched our in our high school the captain of the football team was giving shit to the captain of the wrestling team about those leotards they wear when they wrestle.
Singlets.
And he ran his mouth right up until the time he got pile driven by the wrestling captain.
I'm telling you,
like he fucking walloped that quarterback.
See, I've been an old school WWF fan since I was a kid, and so I go try out for high school wrestling, and I don't know what it is. So
yeah,
the
you're
first-
like, where are the
dude,
fucking ropes, dude? Where's the turnbuckle?
Yeah. So, dude,
Yeah.
the first thing I do is they put me down on all fours, and I'm like, what the fuck? And so when I finally got up and got this guy off him, I fucking front face locked the kid and fucking DDT'd him, and they're fucking all whistles are going everywhere. You can't fucking do that.
What are you doing, you crazy person?
See, that's why I joined the hockey team, because
Yeah,
all bets are off when them fights
yeah. I was
break
gonna
out.
say, dude. Yeah, I've seen some shit, man. But then, like, I feel like once the dudes take their gloves off, they like break them up.
Nope,
Like
not
once
in our
it gets
sport.
like down to the ice.
You didn't have to take the breaks or the gloves off, man. Just knock their heads off with the goddamn stick and come across their
Yeah.
face with the skate.
Oh damn, dude.
I did all kinds of shit in high school. I played football. I ran track. When I tried to do wrestling, dude, it was the worst. It was the most humiliating experience of my life.
Yeah.
I made it through one fucking practice, and I got fucking thrown all over the place. I said, "Fuck you guys, I'm out of here." I ain't doing
That's the most humiliating experience of your life.
Well, back in
A wrestling tryout
That was like up until college, and then he's got like 10 more to top it.
I should say up to that point, it was the most.
That was
humiliating
experimentation, Sam. Experimentation.
Because I
Hey,
fancy
man, how
myself.
you gonna know if you don't know?
I fancy myself a really. That's true. I touched the ass a couple times. Anyways, I fancy myself as a real jock when I was in school. Even though I really wasn't. I was just kind of trying to be. But when I got my ass thrown around like I did, they were tough. Man. The wrestlers were. And the cardiovascular conditioning.
I was, man.
Sick.
It's like I played. My parents got me playing soccer like when I was in kindergarten. I just did it just because, like all the way like through and like I started wrestling when I was in 5th grade because that's when my other brother started doing it. And then I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to play soccer. I just want to wrestle year round.
Dude, I got mad respect for anybody that plays soccer / football in the rest of the world. Shout out to Cody and Sam over across the pond.
Yeah, dude. And it's like I can still watch soccer like on TV, like and get into it just because like I know what I'm watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude,
I
would die. I don't have.
Oh, dude, I
get so bored watching that. I get bored watching football and shit too, though.
Soccer can be exciting to watch, but I mean they run like 19,000 miles.
Dude, literally, they run for 2.5 hours straight.
It's the most.
It's insane, man.
It's one of the most cardiovascular conditioning.
Yeah.
Draining. I mean, you got to be in real good shape to do
Dude,
that.
just like it's like by the time I was like a sophomore, I quit soccer because I was like, I just want to wrestle because like that was the sport I was better at, you know?
Yeah.
And I was listening to this one podcast I listened to, and they were talking about how like kids' sports participation is down like in the last few years because like more kids are just doing like just one sport as opposed to like playing three.
Well,
look at the cost of doing the sports. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. It's like if you wanna, because I think, I mean, obviously for most parents, like and literally, I'm thinking about this with my kids who are 2 and 4. I'm like, what do I want them to get a scholarship for? You know, and I'm like,
yeah.
And if I'm like as they get older, if I'm like, you know, Eli's better at soccer, Sonny's better at wrestling, that's all he's gonna do. And that's all this one's going to do, you know? So it's like, I'm going to lean more towards like the specialization to where it's like, I'm like, you're not going to play baseball in the spring or like football in the fall. And then,
I think it's funny for
the
a
winter,
lot of,
it's going to be one thing, you know?
For a lot of kids, that's their ticket to college. And I mean, they got to try to figure something out. If they can do well enough at it to get in, and I'm not even talking about going pro or anything like that. That's just to get in school.
No, and like that's where like me and my wife, because like I mean she was an athlete too, and it's like that's like what we're looking at, like okay, what are they gonna do, and what are we gonna like? What's the best investment, basically?
Yeah, both my kids hate sports, so neither one of them was involved in much. So,
and dude, both of mine, we don't know. You know, like my son just has first T-ball game last weekend, so we'll see.
Looking at the cost of putting kids in sports now. Imagine having both your kids doing football and then soccer and all that shit all in the same year. You're talking a couple grand.
Pretty crazy.
Especially if you like do it at that high level. You know what I mean? Because like club teams and like stuff like that. What's like if you want to go to college, you basically have to do like that shit's expensive. Like you got to pay for everything, man. It's like travel and stuff, like especially with like I can speak to wrestling just because I know it well. Like if you want to be like if you want like college coaches looking at you, like you got to go to like fucking there's like a big tournament in North Dakota like that you like have to go to. It's like all this shit. Like you got to travel around the state that you're in. You got to travel across the country. Like go all these national tournaments, man. It's insane, dude.
Like my son went to like a football camp, and after that, I was trying to get him interested in football, and they were doing running a bunch of drills and shit. And the first time he had to like make do some hard contact, he comes to me and says, Dad, I really don't like this. I said, why not? He said, I'm a smart guy. And I don't want to mess my. He said, I don't want to mess my brain up. You know,
right. I don't need this. I don't need this.
I'm gonna tell one more story. I'm gonna tell one more quick story. Then we're gonna get into our next news piece. When I first moved to Virginia, I was 18 and I was already out of school and everything. Well, Virginia has a semi-pro football league.
Yep, a few of my friends that I went to school with played in it.
Okay,
damn, dude.
And so in the Tiki and Rondé Barber are from the Roanoke area.
Mm-hmm.
And so they used to run a camp, and Tiki was an asshole.
Tiki Barber,
Tiki was an asshole, but Rondé was cool.
Barber's
as shit.
A piece of shit. Tiki Barber's piece of shit. Rondé is badass.
Yeah, Rondé's cool as shit, and this gets into the story. So I was at their camp and was going out for defensive end. So they do an end-around drill, and Tiki's carrying the ball, and I'm on the end. I stood Tiki up and fucking plowed him. And,
what are you doing on this one-horse podcast, man? You could be in these.
I know. Why'd you eat that though? What are you doing
here? Because I fucked my knees. And so
everybody.
So Tiki's on the ground for a couple minutes, and this is no pads, summer drills in fucking Roanoke, which it's in the New River Valley, so it's humid as fuck.
Yeah, I was like, that's humid as fuck, dude.
Yeah, it gets humid as fuck in the mid-90s.
Yeah, so we're all drinking pickle juice and all sorts of shit. But so I stood Tiki up and fucking plowed him, and the first thing I hear is, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I turn around, and it is Rondé Barber in my face about to fuck me up. That was one of the fucking scariest moments of my life, because that dude is fucking jacked. Tiki Barber was in amazing shape, but Rondé, that dude is a freak athlete. And so I was like, I'm sorry, and I left camp right then. I was like, fuck that. I'm not fighting Rondé Barber. Fuck that.
I don't want to die.
Yeah, seriously, I don't want my fucking head torn off and him shitting down my neck. Speaking of which, the next item on our news is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had the trailer release.
I was worried that I missed this, man. I am so goddamn excited for this movie,
dude.
For a lot of reasons,
it
man.
Looks so great. The cast is amazing. What this is basically
run this down, man.
This is gonna be a Tarantino movie about the Sharon Tate murders.
Which is, it's like, I don't know why I am like so fascinated with Charles Manson, but dude, so like the few times I dressed up as Halloween, I dressed up basically like as Charles Manson, and like depending on who asked me who I was, I would either say Charles Manson or George Harrison from the Beatles. But because I thought that was so cool. Like, I'm going off the trailer, like it just looks like a kind of like Quentin Tarantino, like period piece, right? But then it's like in this latest one, like they go into it, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude! Like I just think that's such an interesting story that I think.
Cast, dude.
Oh my god, dude! Fucking Leo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt,
Margot Robbie,
and then
Bruce Stern.
Al Pacino's in
it. Al Pacino.
Kurt Russell, dude. Yeah, it's just top notch.
And then
all around, man.
Josh knows the actor playing Manson.
Yeah, who is that?
Damon Harriman.
What else was he on? He looks familiar.
If you ever watched the TV show Justified on FX,
Yeah.
he played the character, one of Boyd Crowder's right-hand men. He played Dewey
So,
Crow.
Do you guys think he'll have a big role?
I don't think it'll be a huge role, but I think he will be a scene stealer in any scene he's in.
Dude, so that's what I'm excited about. And you know what? If he doesn't have a big role in the movie, I think that's cool because like in everything that went down with that story, like he had a big role in the background, like in planning everything and like manipulating everybody. But like as far as like what went down, he wasn't.
And there's
he didn't get his hands dirty.
Yeah, and Bruce Dern is playing the dude that had that like ranch where the Manson family stayed.
Yeah,
and Bruce Dern is creepy as fuck.
Wasn't that like a ranch where they just like they were like, we're filming a Western, we need to go here, like in the 60s?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Was like the guy like rented out his land for like extra scenes and shit.
And it was just like a dusty place.
Yeah,
It was like in LA somewhere.
And like the crazy thing is like when we were bringing this up in the planning meeting last night, like I was looking at like the IMDb and like the casting, and like there's a lot of roles that just it doesn't say who people are playing, who's like the character that they're playing. So like
it's like a name actor.
It just says the name of the actor, and then where it has the character next to it, it's blank. So I'm wondering if like they're gonna have like somebody playing Roman Polanski.
Dude, that'd be an interesting thing too, man.
Yeah, because I mean, Roman Polanski that was his love was Sharon Tate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just wild to me that after all these years later, like it's been so
because I remember like it was when did that trailer come out? Like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And like I saw it, and like Margot Robbie's like, I'm Sharon Tate, and I was like this, like my fucking jaw hit the floor. And I was like, oh damn, dude. And like,
at least it didn't have far to go, so it wouldn't have too much of an impact.
It's like I knew, like I read like the synopsis of the movie, and like I knew that he wasn't like Charles Manson wasn't involved in it, but I had just forgotten. You know what I mean? But I think it's gonna be great. Like I'm excited. I might see that in theaters.
Yeah, I'm planning to go to the theater for that one. But yeah, it looks amazing. And like the other thing is like music wise, that's
oh my god,
Tarantino's
dude. Well, dude, hey,
niche.
who plays Bruce Lee? Because that dude literally looks like they just cloned Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he looks more like Bruce Lee than the guy they had in that WWE movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like it's just a fascinating like. I mean, a lot of people already. Most people know the story already, but maybe
it's like
it looks like it'll be. Yeah, well, it's an interesting take, you know.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated, like generally by history because I think there's so many good stories to be told. And, like this is one of those that like just tickles that, you know. It's like it's a true story that people probably know, but like haven't been presented in this way, you know.
Yeah, and you know, Tarantino is known for like, you know, mixing up like scenes and, you know, the timelines of movies. I just think I think this is probably the most Oscar ready movie that Tarantino is ever gonna do.
When does it come out?
Soon. Shit.
So it's like doesn't even come out in like the general like Oscar season, you know?
Yeah, it does.
Because I think that'd be more like
I'm looking it up right now.
December.
Release date July 26th. So
July 26th of next year?
No, this year.
Shit.
Yeah, 2 months.
Cool, man.
Damn.
Dude,
yeah, I'm gonna
2 months from
year.
today.
We are getting some great shit this year, man. Between you know, the final season of Game of Thrones, no matter what anybody says, you know, it was a monumental moment in television.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, man, so I've been talking to like just real quick, like I don't know if you guys are planning on talking about it, but it's like my wife and I were talking about because she watches it. And she thought it was cool, but because like my take was just like you just can't like whenever something's been going on that long, like you just can't please everybody, you know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Do you think it's one of those kind of situations, or like did they really drop the ball?
I mean,
you know?
No, they didn't drop the ball.
Almost every great series has a controversial ending.
Yeah,
Right.
MASH
true.
had a controversial ending. You know,
Yeah.
that whole Hawkeye in the asylum shit. Fucking people weren't happy with Breaking Bad at first, remember?
No, and that's actually a topic that Greg and I talked about on All Queued Up today. The backlash and the outcry and the divisive nature over endings in films and TV shows. It seems like it's more prevalent now, but it's always been there. We just see it because social media,
There's people that voice, man.
Because 12 asshats on fucking Twitter throw a shit fit and start a petition.
Dude, and it's hard because like when something goes on for that long, what was Game of Thrones? 8 seasons?
8 seasons, and I just
like over the course of like 10 years though.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like every different person like makes up in their mind how they want it to end. You know?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Star Wars, man.
It's tough, dude.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We're getting Rise of the Skywalker this year, the Deadwood movie in a week.
Yep.
Oh no shit! That's already coming out.
Yep, comes out the last week of this month.
Comes out on the 31st, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
There's just so much stuff coming out. I think that this is one of the best years we've had for entertainment in a long time.
And it only helps the fact that look at Disney. They've already had 2 multi-billion-dollar movies already dropped this year, and they've got probably 3 surefire billion-plus later this year.
Yeah. You think Aladdin's
maybe even 4?
You think Aladdin's gonna hit $1 billion?
I think Aladdin will worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah, I can see.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying worldwide. I think Aladdin will. I think Lion King will outperform Aladdin.
Yeah.
Oh, by far.
Dude, I heard Aladdin's like just okay.
Well, this is what I've been hearing about it. Okay, because Anna and I are going to see it on Sunday. Here's what I've been hearing. People love it for the most part, except for Will Smith. That's what people hate.
Here's my thing with it. I didn't know it was coming out this weekend, and I think to me, just like I'm not like out of the loop. Like the fact that I didn't know it was coming out this weekend is like Disney's bad. Like that should have been a bigger deal than it.
I feel like they haven't. Honestly, I feel like they haven't been promoting it like I would think they would. You know what I mean?
I think they know that Will Smith's fucking genie is just jack shit compared to.
So you think they're just like saying like forget this movie, like just get it out?
Yeah, but you know what the problem with that is that everybody's genie would be shit compared to Robin Williams. Comparing him to Robin Williams is stupid. It is.
It is. But they could have done a much better job in casting somebody that was at least a good.
I don't know because but also Rob, they're going for star power too a little bit. Not everyone's gonna want to go see a live action version of I think they're trying to entice people to want to come see this. Look, we have a star in the movie too. You gotta do that with movies sometimes. And I think that's
Terry fucking Crews. That's all they had to do. It would have been a great homage.
I'd have been down with that. I love that.
You think Terry Crews?
He would have been a fantastic homage to a Robin Williams.
Dude, it's weird because like this movie. I mean, like obviously they want to have like a Middle Eastern cast, which makes sense because it's fucking Aladdin, right? But it's like a lot of those people just aren't as well known. Like with the Lion King, like most of the people casting are like African American actors because it's in Africa, but it's like most people are well known. Like you got like Childish Gambino and like the dude from the dude that was in Doctor Strange, Seth Rogen, and then like Beyonce's Nala and stuff, and it's like, and then James Earl Jones just like plays himself.
Yeah,
fucking perfect.
Just real quick because we were talking about how good a year for content this is, and it completely fucking slipped my mind. Charles brought it up in the chat. Godzilla comes out next Friday.
Oh yeah!
Fuck yeah, dude! I will see in theaters. I'm a Godzilla head, dude. I'll see that in theaters. I can't wait. I'm worried about like the shit they're gonna do with King Kong later on, but I think this movie will be good.
King Kong's inferior to Godzilla anyway.
Yeah, no.
We're not getting into that. Cause
I'm not even going to do that because I love King Kong. So I'm
This,
not going
this movie,
You
this
can love
Godzilla
King
movie,
Kong
man,
all
they
you
got a
want,
good
but
cast.
King Kong's a blip compared to Godzilla.
I bet Godzilla would go like this.
I would argue King Kong beat Godzilla's ass when they fought. That's what I'm going to argue. I'm going to give it to him. I think Kong fucked him up. I think so.
But
I think so. I think he beat that ass. I think he beat that lizard's ass.
I don't see it happening, man.
I don't know. I think Kong.
there is
I think
historical precedent.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and history has been shown to be wrong before. It's time to get on the right side of history.
Yeah, but it
And
repeats
root for
itself.
the Gojira.
It always repeats itself. Exactly.
Only because of uneducated fools does it repeat itself. So,
I mean,
So-
Kong.
you uneducated fool!
Not only did he beat Godzilla's ass, but he swam his ass back to his fucking island. It's fucking a long swim, dude.
Yeah, but of course this was done by two guys in fucking suits back in the day.
Yeah.
You know,
We're about to see
Godzilla.
what the real
You see
atomic
the-
breath can do.
Oh yeah, you mean you?
real atomic breath, real Godzilla, how he scales in a city
You mean-
versus King Kong scaling.
I got you.
I mean,
like
it's going to be like,
two guys
Oh,
in a suit
look.
versus CGI. I got you.
Dude, King Kong hangs from the steeple on the top of a fucking building. Godzilla tramples the fucking building.
Dude,
Mhm.
what's gonna end up happening? I guarantee you, is Kong somehow is gonna become irradiated and becomes Godzilla size. That's what's gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Dude, that'd be cool.
Well,
No,
I mean, in
no,
this
that
movie,
wouldn't be
this
cool.
movie looks like they are over. Like Godzilla's a big motherfucker.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they're not gonna have fucking King Kong come up to his shin, dude.
Yeah.
No, because Kong is a big motherfucker too. You can't be
I
doing
think
that
they
shit.
made Kong like bigger in his movie, but I think like this Godzilla's like 300 something feet tall, man.
Yeah, you don't.
And it's like
you
I'm
guys-
about to get on Google and be like literally
You guys
be like,
don't-
Oh, dude,
legendary.
There's all those size charts and shit, but I'm telling
Yeah.
you, when the movie comes out, they're gonna be the same.
the
size.
sunbow chart don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, that's the thing is like I get hung up on that like an idiot, and I'm like, oh wait, it's all fake. It doesn't fucking matter.
You know
It doesn't fucking
You know what the irony about this is the best part of this movie for me is all the other monsters. I mean, I like
Oh,
Godzilla.
dude. That's
They're
what I'm
doing
excited about,
so
man.
many good other
I
great
think,
monsters.
I think like Rodan looks cool, and it's
Yeah.
like if you're like a Godzilla, like if you're like in on the Godzilla lore, like even the characterization of these other monsters, like they're getting it right with like Mothra being like an ally and like
Yeah.
friendly to humans, and like Rodan being an ally, and
Yeah,
Ghidorah just being bad. Dude, I think
Right.
it's cool, man. I think it's fucking awesome. I'm
I
excited,
can't
man.
wait to see Ghidorah. Like,
Me
either.
too, man. Just like
Ghidorah
full
was-
powered, man.
yeah, that's like the baddest motherfucker there was, man. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't
Yeah,
wait. I'm a fan.
all right,
Yeah,
guys,
it's-
I'm in. I'm in.
we got something else that dropped that I'm sorry, but I am fucking stoked.
Whoa.
It was just a teaser, but the Picard teaser came out.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, what do you guys think, man?
Dude.
Does it look good?
Dude, I will pay
I don't know
for
anything
cable for
about
that
this.
shit if I have to.
That teaser hit all the right notes for me, man. Like, just like not showing his face until the end. You see him walk. You see his boots while he's walking through the vineyard, and like it shows like the thing's watering all the grapes and shit. And there's that lady's voiceover, setting it up. Okay, this is 25 years after Nemesis, and. Yeah.
Admiral
Yeah.
Picard.
Admiral
And then-
Picard.
That's
Damn.
You
what
knew
she
as soon as
called
that box got set down with the wine in it, it's like, yeah.
And that's
I-
such a cool callback to the series because, like,
It is.
after the Best of Both
Yeah.
Worlds,
Yep.
issues, what is it, episodes? He went back to his family vineyard and the whole
Mhm.
thing with him and his brother Renee,
Yeah.
and then like in Generations they tell you Renee died, and
Yeah,
so-
his nephew, right? Is the one who was. Remember, he had to spat with his brother,
yeah,
and the kid was his nephew.
yeah.
Yeah, and again, yeah, and it's sad because his nephew joined Starfleet, and then died.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then, but yeah, like when they sit, like Rob said, when they set down that box of wine and it says
Yeah.
Chateau de Picard, and then just
Yeah.
like I'm
It's
geeking
bad.
out. I'm
He
geeking
didn't
out.
say a damn thing during that whole trailer, and it was perfect.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean,
Dude,
like
I got
okay,
chills.
like I was a big Captain Kirk fan, okay, but I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's because of when Star Trek: The Next Generation came out, But I liked Picard better than Kirk, and people
I
hate
love Picard. He is
People-
so
You
much better
shut your
than Kirk.
whore mouth.
this. Now listen, I
Well,
didn't
neither
say
one
I
of
hate
them's the best
Kirk.
Star Trek captain anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Who?
I said neither one of them is the best
Oh.
Star Trek captain
Who's-
anyways.
Who's the best?
Cisco.
Okay,
You know, I
Cisco
love-
was
you know,
awesome, but Picard's
okay,
still the best.
But technically,
Dude,
Cisco
he
ran a battle, like ran a station.
He
also
also
space station. He wasn't
he also captained one of the baddest ships you'll ever see in Star
That's
Trek.
true. The
He
Defiant
never
was
captained the
badass.
Enterprise D.
No. The Defiant
No,
was
no, the-
amazing.
Yeah, the
That was
Defiant was
amazing.
badass.
Dude, the Defiant
Yeah.
would blow the D apart.
It had a
fucking
cloaking
Klingons
device, dude.
did.
It's unfucking real. It was a quick maneuverable. Anyway, that's not get that geeky. What I was gonna say, what I was just saying is I think that like Picard, maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. Picard was my captain,
Yeah, same.
and
here.
like my mom loved Captain Kirk. That was her captain,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, it's cool, and I like Captain Kirk too. He was okay, but Picard was the fucking bomb, dude.
Yeah.
I think the reason I like Picard more, he was my generation's Picard too, or
Mhm.
captain.
Yeah,
But he always seemed more real to me than Kirk. Like Kirk
Yeah.
was always chasing the tail, and he was a little bit floofy, and it seemed like everybody around him was kind of holding him up. And then you have Picard. Picard stood good on his own. He commanded a presence.
And like actor wise, Patrick Stewart blows Shatner away.
Okay, all day long.
well,
I think we lost Josh.
well, you got to think.
I honestly, I have no interest in the series.
You don't
So-
really?
No,
Well, you're not much. Are you a Star Trek fan, really? Or
I'm a casual Trek fan.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm not a diehard Star Trek fan. I've never watched.
Well-
I watched most of the original series, and I watched a couple seasons of the Next Generation, but I've not seen the whole series. The only thing I've seen all of is the movies, and it's like, oh shit, Star Wars isn't in this weekend. I guess I'll watch Wrath of Khan. But
I got you. That's
I
I'm
was
kinda with
never
you
a
on
big
that,
Trek
Josh.
fan, man.
yeah.
Just wasn't. I don't hate it, but I'm not going out of my way to
Yeah,
check it out.
you're like you said, you're a casual fan. I got it. That's understandable. It's I actually I would and I'll probably agree for this. Like my wife is a huge Star Wars fan, okay, and I am probably more of a Star Trek fan than she is.
That's how I am.
And I'm probably more into Star Trek than Star Wars because to me, Star Wars is fun and all, and they do have some legit things with like the TIE fighter with the ion engine and all that, and that's they use some real science and that. But Star Trek uses like Star Trek could be legitimately like there's real
I
shit.
think it happens.
Yeah.
So are you
Yeah.
more of like the straight up like because I'm with some people like who call Star Wars like fantasy, which I'm fine with because to me like I said before like was talking about something else, it's all made up.
Right.
So like, are you more like appreciative of like something that like it's more plausible like
Kinda.
like true science fiction?
Yeah.
This is how I used to coin it. The Star Wars to me was always science fantasy. It was always like the knights of the round table of the future.
Yeah.
Whereas Star Trek was always science fiction. It was the Isaac Asimov. It was the it was the shit that could legit happen. It has background. It has, dude. I've got books and like I've got complete blueprints for the Enterprise that breaks it down. You could figure out the technology. You could legit build this shit. They went deep.
Well, and also remember, it's more real world than Star Wars. Like Earth is in Star Trek. Earth is like the Terran system. That's Earth's system. It's we're like, and it's got, remember, we survived another like nuclear fallout from another world war, almost destroyed the planet, and humans
Right.
almost eradicated human beings. That's what unified them eventually. Was they came together and said, we can't do this shit no more.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
And like, maybe I'm corny or whatever, but I like the social commentary of Star Trek.
Dude, me too,
me
man.
too, me too.
And Nick, that's something that I appreciated about that, and then about just like comic books is like how progressive they are for their time,
And that really
that's cool.
That really kicked into gear with Next Generation, and then progressed through Deep Space Nine, and the rest. Like Next Generation pioneered that shit.
Especially if that's like something you give a shit about.
Although I will say the original series had a lot of controversial casting choices.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That was the first interracial kiss was on Star Trek, the original series.
That was the medium to explore that,
and then like the episode with Frank Gorshin, the people that had like the white on one side and the black on the other, and then it was reversed. Some of it was ham-fisted, but at the time for what Roddenberry was trying to do, it was revolutionary television. And
it was.
And then as you go into Next Gen, it was still the same thing. Like you had your fun episodes and everything, but there was
like they had
commentary.
like some episodes like dealt with like gender roles and things like that.
Oh yeah, well there
like
was
interesting stuff,
There was one episode where it was all about, and it might even have been a 2-episode arc. It was about the planet was run by men, but the men didn't actually own anything. All of their wives owned the property, but their wives were property to them.
Oh, the Next Generation episode.
Yeah, that was the Next Generation.
More Tasha Yar ends up involved in a a little love triangle. Yeah,
and then, like Shoki put it really good too. He said episodes about being human.
No doubt. Absolutely.
And Star Trek was always about a journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Never about a destination.
No, not even about the destination. Like,
that's cool, man.
Because like Roddenberry's his initial pitch for Star Trek was he wants to do wagon train in space.
Yeah.
And the inspirations for Star Wars were samurai movies, 1940 serials, and
Flash Gordon
in westerns.
Yeah.
So it's just all, and
Shoki, trial
of data, yeah.
Oh, dude, the best arc I think was still when the very beginning of Next Generation, when Q put humanity on trial.
Encounter a Farpoint.
Counter and Farpoint.
That's actually one of my favorite episodes. That when they kicked that show off, they kicked it off right into it, man. It was like, and you just knew that fucker was going to be a pain in the ass. You knew he was going to be around.
He raised a lot of valid points.
Yeah,
he did. It's true.
Yeah, that was like his function,
Yeah.
In the story.
And then like when you get into Deep Space Nine, it goes into the consequences of war, xenophobia. It's...
Dude, that's what like the Planet of the Apes movies, the most recent ones. Like the last one that came out, I thought that was cool because it like they dealt more, like you said, with the consequences of war, man. And I think that's what people don't often my bad. People don't face,
It's really funny how Star Trek tackles a lot of that stuff. They always find a way to put real life, shit into it.
It's like that's like funny you say, because I feel like it's always these mediums that people consider to be like the most childish, like comic books and science fiction. and fantasy and things like that, but which have like the most valid social commentary, man. That's like always been a thing. Like you look at like Star Wars Star Trek when it came out, and like at the same time with like what Stan Lee and other people were doing like with Marvel Comics. Like
that's a good point. Yeah,
it's always been like the medium where that stuff thrives. You know,
I think that's where the newer Star Trek series were lacking. Like that one with Scott Bakula.
Yeah, Enterprise and Voyager just weren't like
they just like weren't pushing it. And dude, that's the thing. Like even like now with modern comics, now people like have a pushback to that. You know, it's like something we talked about in our chat. But it's like I'm like, what do you like? This is what comic books have always done and what have always been is like the medium to push those boundaries and to push like what makes you comfortable and to make you kind of like stretch your expectations and be more tolerant, be more forgiving and
right.
Well, the whole premise,
new things,
the whole premise behind Star Trek is how humanity had united itself in such a way that they could do this stuff, but then they're experiencing other cultures that are sometimes more advanced technologically, but they're regressed several thousand years behind humanity in their culture itself.
I just want to address the chat for 2 points, and then we're going to move on to the next parts of our discussion.
Okay.
Rogue War says the one where Picard lived a lifetime on that relic in a few minutes playing the flute.
That was a really good episode.
When my wife was younger, she went to a convention, and that was the question she asked Patrick Stewart was, what was his favorite episode? And that is his personal favorite episode of Next Gen.
That episode was phenomenal. And at the end of that episode, when he came out of the relic, didn't he retain the ability to play it?
Yes, he did. And Shoki, some of us are still waiting for the emissary to return. In the most recent DS9 the Four Lights where Picard is kidnapped by the Cardassians. That's a great episode.
Yeah.
Some of us are still waiting for the emissary to return. In some of the newer DS9 books, Cisco is back.
DS9 was probably, honestly, Nick, it's funny you say, DS9 was probably my favorite Star Trek series.
And Shoki
I loved it. I loved it. Anna never agreed with me. She was always hating on it, and I was like, "Dude, you're crazy. This is great."
DS9 was great. I still prefer Next Generation, but just. I mean, it's close.
I think it's because I like the Starship stuff is fun, but DS9 was a different way of going about it. Starship they were on. They were on the station with all kinds of cultures, all kinds of You got a war going on. It ends up being a war, but I mean, but then you got Kardashians are up to no good. I mean, it was so much shit.
The whole thing with that other race too.
Yeah, the Jem'Hadar and all that shit.
The Jem'Hadar,
that stuff was amazing, dude. And then when you find out who fucking is really running shit. You're like, oh my God.
The Jem'Hadar were just an army.
Yeah, they're just an army. They're nothing. It's like, oh man, it's insane, dude. It was, and then Worf coming to DS9. Worf was one of my favorite characters,
dude. Worf was the best from
absolutely
from Next Generation. Him and Data, man. I always loved him and Data.
Yeah, you're right, Shucky. They destroyed Babylon 5. Although I like Babylon 5 too, but I like DS9 way more.
I never watched that. What was that on Sci-Fi Channel?
Yeah, it was all right, but it wasn't Star Trek.
It wasn't as good. It was okay, but it was based on a space station, and DS9 was amazing. So.
All right, guys. So this week we also had new pictures drop from Rise of the Skywalker. We got to see pictures of the Knights of Ren.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
I'm just glad that hopefully that they're in it, because it's like I do think that this is a misstep that they showed that picture of Luke Skywalker in R2. It's like they're really going to take us 3 movies to like show this full flashback scene, of what happened. Like,
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and also one of the things is in the trailer that they released a couple weeks ago, Kylo was putting down one of the Knights of Ren.
Well, was that one of them for sure, or
That-
is it just some dude? I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like that dude with the concave mask.
Yeah. But the question is, was that because he was side shifting a bit, or was that because he was having another one of his fucking rage fits? Because he's
Yeah.
prone to nasty rage.
Yeah, who knows?
he just slices a motherfucker down.
Yeah.
You need to get Kylo on some fucking Thorazine.
Seriously, you need something, dude. That kid's got issues.
Yeah.
That'll
Damn.
be the big finale in the last movie. Let's get him on some proper medication.
Yeah, that's all he needed.
You know what? I feel more even now, and everything's gonna be okay.
That's gonna be
Prozac. It brings the force.
that's gonna be the real Star Wars crossover. They're gonna have Kylo Ren on a holodeck on Freud's couch.
Yeah.
That's great, dude.
He had one of those drugs inhalers from like the 23rd century. Just
You know what's funny, guys? Okay, when you had Force Awakens come out, I went through these up and down emotions. Like I liked Kylo Ren at first, and then the first time he had that temper tantrum and was acting like a little bitch, I was like, oh man, this is the villain. Great, we got a little,
Yeah.
and then I felt like he redeemed himself a bit. And I mean, I know people hate on the Last Jedi or whatever. I mean, it had its issues, I know, but one thing I liked that they did, they made Kylo Ren a little bit more of a badass, and I was kind of like,
Dude, he killed Snoke in cold blood.
Yeah,
man.
and they needed to show you too that Snoke really played a lot of emotional fucking games with this kid.
yeah.
He fucking manipulated him, fucked with him
like
a lot.
puppet.
Absolutely, and Kylo Ren was not like he was working it out. This dude was working it out.
Dude, because it's like I hear you with that, and it's like my concern is like as much as I've liked Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, it's like it all hinges on this last one.
I know.
Because, like if this last one doesn't deliver, like to me those movies like mean bullshit. Which I don't know. It's like I didn't feel that way with the prequels. Like I was in fucking third grade when The Phantom Menace came out.
Oh my god!
But then it's like I knew where it was gonna end up. So like obviously I wasn't around when like the original trilogy came out. So it's like, is this a unique feeling?
Way to make me feel old, motherfucker.
is this like a unique feeling to like see how the last one delivers, to see if the previous two are even worth it, Because like the last one doesn't pay off in the ways I want it to. Like I'm gonna be bummed out and disappointed. Like I got a good Luke Skywalker story with The Last Jedi, but
all right, I'm just gonna be real. I'm probably gonna have to wear an adult diaper to fucking Rise of the Skywalker because I'm probably gonna cream my pants as soon as Palpatine hits the screen.
Right?
Are we sure
Palpatine's man tears though? I mean, he is a ghost or something.
Yeah, we heard him laugh, but are we sure that's going to be Palpatine alive?
I think we're just going to see him in like a holocron recording or something.
It'll be a recording or a vision. I think
that's interesting.
Be a vision because I like Sith lords are like they tie themselves to objects, right? Yeah. Like Sith masks and things like that. So I think like maybe Kylo touches something. Yeah, like he touches something and it's like gives him that vision.
That's very EU kind of shit, though. I mean, and that's kind of interesting.
They introduced them the holocrons and stuff.
Yeah, at least holocrons
and Rebels.
They did, but it's very EU to do. See, Sith liked to put their knowledge and what they into holocrons because they almost like they like to brag. They wanted to brag on themselves.
Yeah, dude, that's what it was, man. Big
right?
Part of it.
Yeah, and show and so that somebody could find it if their person was powerful enough and smart enough to activate it, and figure it out, then they could have access to all I know.
Yeah,
and basically I can flex, and it was a way for them to keep their spread their knowledge down through the into the history,
like certain people,
Tyler in the chat says he thinks he's going to be a parasite, talking about Palpatine, which could be
like a possession or something like that.
Which could be very interesting because a lot of us read the most recent Darth Vader comic,
right?
And how Momin, inhabited that mask and he took over that guy's body when Vader put the mask on him.
Interesting.
Maybe
I think that'd be,
Palpatine's
and
man.
that's what I was talking about, like with Sith, like attaching themselves to objects.
Objects, yeah.
That has been established in the new canon. That, like,
Okay.
there's like this cult in like the Aftermath books that they would like look to try to find like Sith masks and
Yeah.
and things like that, because like they could like draw dark side energy from, and that's the same thing, like, and that is like Russ said, like some EU shit, like planets
Yes.
where
a lot
there was,
of
like a lot of Sith were present, were like just strong in that, you know,
right.
like Korriban and Droman Kaas and places like that.
It's like in Revan is a good example. His mask
Yeah,
was very important.
and I think
it
that
held a lot of
like,
that.
like with when there's a lot of Sith in one place, like they like spoil that place. Like I think that's a cool idea. You know?
It is. I don't know if that's where they're going, but it could be intriguing. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's fun. I'm gonna have to check out those Vader comics to learn about what you were talking about, Nick. It's a parasite. Is that what it is, or is it?
I don't know if it's a parasite as much as, you know, spiritual possession.
Okay, so that kind of and it has to do with a mask that probably holds the maybe the some of like the life force, some of the life force of okay.
Yeah, Tyler in the chat too, he's talking about how like the Sith Master, quote unquote, or like in the EU they call it like the Sith Ari, was like just like more or less a spirit that just inhabited different bodies. And what he was saying
that's
is like
an intriguing idea.
Yeah, it's like Palpatine was just a body, you know.
So once Palpatine was killed, it actually released.
Released that. I like that idea too. It needed another host.
Yeah, so maybe it's been moving from host to host.
Maybe his spirit's housed in the remnants of the Death Star.
Like maybe that's what it like attached itself to. You know,
but there is in that scene that is the remnants of the Death Star right in the background, right? And it's what it looked like to me. So that's interesting, man. You guys got some good ideas. Shit,
I just hope that the Knights of Ren are cool, because I know I'm gonna buy them toys before I see the movie.
Everybody, it'll be like the Praetorian Guard.
Yeah.
They'll be basically the same figure with just 2 or 3 small different features.
Dude, they were fucking badass though, so that was cool. I had all them toys, man.
But if Knights of Ren were
they were badass for 5 minutes.
It's better than being badass for nothing.
Yeah. Like what's her name? The big silver chick. Asthma.
Yeah.
What a waste of Gwendolyn Christie's talents. Yeah. God,
for real, man.
They could have done so much more with her.
I know, man. It's terrible.
So here's a thought playing on Tyler's idea. Do you think maybe this is what Darth Plagueis figured out to bring himself back from the dead, or to prevent death, as he just transfers himself host to host?
I don't know.
Well.
Like the thing about
Force ghost host to host.
I don't know.
I would want it to
revolve all the
I want them to be like the big boss.
All the Sith Masters have had like a very independent personality. So
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So I don't know if I prescribed. It's an interesting idea, but I don't know if I prescribe to that theory.
And it's like they all like subscribe to the rule of 2, but like literally every one of them like had more than one apprentice. Like,
wow.
Well, they're also liars. So
yeah.
The only reason why
it's like the same shit I would do if they're like, all right, Sam, you get one apprentice. I'm like, well, I'll have like one, but like let me just train a few to see which like crops out to be the best one, which is like kind of like Darth Plagueis' master, Darth Tenebris, had like 5 apprentices, and even Darth Bane, like once he thought I was like worried about Darth Xana, he like found another one right away.
And remember, he was done with Xana because he thought Xana would never challenge him.
Yeah.
So he was like, this chick's too comfortable.
But then, like,
I'm done
every
with her
Sith
right
Lord in succession to him did the same thing. Like, they're like, I don't think this
Yeah.
person. And it's like,
Palpatine really broke the rules bad, dude.
Yeah, and
He
that's like-
broke them really bad.
I just reread the Plagueis book, and he like had his permission to like train Darth Maul, like as an assassin, right? To just be like, he's not going to be like a Sith Lord or whatever. He's just gonna be an assassin. Like he was like, do what you want to do, you know.
So yeah, so at the same time he had Maul, he was probably had Dooku waiting around in the in the throats, you know. So,
yeah, and that too was kind of like Plagueis, kind of telling him to court him.
Yeah, because they needed him. They wanted his help. Yeah, they
just saw. I think they just like saw the potential in Dooku. You know.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Yeah, he nearly thumbed his nose up at the rule of two.
There's a theory. You know, there was a book that there was some comics that took place. They weren't Marvel, so they're not canon, with like Darth Krayt and stuff.
Yeah.
And Darth Krayt created the rule of one, but it's almost like Palpatine created the rule of one, you know, because
where there's like one, like a Sith master.
Yeah.
And everyone's below him.
Palpatine definitely had I agree with you, Nick. That's actually an interesting way of looking at Palpatine. He had the mentality of, I'll call you my apprentice, but really you're just a fucking means to an end to me. For me, I'll teach you as much as I need you to know to get what I need you to get done.
Yeah.
Like none of this, I mean,
you were talking about, you want to read the comics. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check them out, dude.
Marvel series really drive that point home with, Palpatine having people to,
Vader stuff. Vader. I'm not up to date. Yeah.
Palpatine had a whole program of like different, apprentices that he was looking at.
Yeah, yes, for me, he's always ready to, out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah, and like one of them's a Mon Calamari cyborg that is like the upgrade of Grievous.
Jesus Christ!
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Well, remember this. Remember, he had so many. The hands of the Emperor. They were nice, Shoki. Take it easy, Baba. They were all.
Shoki got a buzz cut, man. He's trying to join the cast or what?
Yeah.
Hey, Shoki, what time you posting that video tomorrow?
I think he's already gone.
Yeah, I think he did.
But no, what I was going to say is the hands of the Emperor they weren't apprentices, but they were all trained in the arts.
And that's the thing, because it's like there's like a technicality, right, Russ? Where it's you're not an apprentice because like, you're not expected to be the next Sith Lord, but like we're just going to train you in the ways.
Exactly. Right. It's almost like that's like the loophole.
Yeah. So that's like where the rule of two like kind of falls apart because like, I feel like every Sith Lord, when you like if you read the books, like they had like all these extra dudes that were out there like they were training them and
like I said, teaching them, giving them just enough knowledge and know-how to do what I need you to do.
Like,
and that's
to motivate their true apprentice. You know what I mean?
Thing in the comics,
that's I think what it was. Vader. Yeah, with not like with Darth Plagueis' master, I think that's like because he had like as soon as Darth Plagueis' master died, like these guys were supposed to like basically like go kill each other. You know what I mean? Like nobody told Plagueis, like he was just supposed to be like on his toes.
I think it's time to hit our last topic discussion, which is also Star Wars related, and it was confirmed within the last 2 days that the first movies after Rise of the Skywalker are going to be based on Knights of the Old Republic. And they are going to be developed by what is it? Benioff and Weiss.
Benioff and Weiss of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, of Game of Thrones. And
dude, lay it on me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love
it. It seems like in the articles where they're mentioning it, they make sure they don't call it just the Old Republic. They are mentioning Knights of the Old Republic.
If that's the case, then
which means Revan. It means Revan.
They have specifically
love it.
mentioned that 3 names that were mentioned were Bastila, Malik, and Revan.
I
Damn,
am
really?
telling you right now,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
They said
do
take
that.
it as a grain of salt, but multiple sources have been reporting it in the past 24 hours, and very reputable sources have been posting it. There are 3 unidentified, anonymous sources very close to the project that say it absolutely is a Knights of the Old Republic movie trilogy.
Damn, dude. It's like, how would you guys all feel if they just basically? It's like we brought this up before. It's like, would you be cool with them just like retelling that same story?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
The similar beats to it. Yeah, it don't have to be an exact match, but keep it a little similar.
All right.
Not a terrible departure. As long as I get me some HK-47 to talk about you,
meatbags.
Yeah, dude.
you fucking meat bags.
It's like I don't want it to be like we talked about with Game of Thrones, where it's like this is a story I want, and if it's not that, I'm going to be pissed off. I want it to be like you said, like hit them same beats, especially if they're going to do those characters. And they're going to name them.
Let me go back. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nate.
I was just going to say, I want Traya. I want Darth Traya.
Do you think they'll get that far into it though? But I guess they could if they're going to do 3 movies.
That was KOTOR 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I was going to say about these 2 that are writing, why you send me off, they seem to do their best work when they're going off of somebody's material and they're adapting it, and they'll tweak what they need to, and they'll change things here and there.
Well, that's what they did with
Martin, George R.R. Martin's, right?
Yeah.
Everyone will probably say that the Game of Thrones was really at its max when they were basically taking what it was already written, and they're just changing it around but it's still sticking to the story and adapting the things as they needed to. Well, with this, they've got a shit ton of freaking literature to go by.
And there's so many cool visuals with the characters.
There are.
Darth Nihilus, Darth Scion. Darth Scion, man. That on screen, I think will blow people away.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of cool. Yeah, and then and the Jedi.
Yeah. Well, it's I think, like you said, Russ, if they can take that story and just adapt, because it was told in a video game, which is a tough medium to adapt to screen, as we've all seen. I think if they that's one of their skills, like you're saying, is taking a story and adapting it to a different medium. I think these are the right guys to do it.
Yeah.
I think they're really good at it. Yeah, me too. I am too. I'm crossing my fingers, and I think it's going to be good. So
you mentioned Jedi, Russ, but what Jedi do they really need in the story besides Bastila?
Well, I think. Well, I mean, Revan was a Jedi.
Just a gang of them, right?
Revan was a Jedi before he got seduced to the dark side.
Joey Bendo.
That would be and there's. I mean, what I'm saying too is because there aren't that. I mean, there's a few Jedi. It's that Old Republic is more known for the Sith than the Jedi.
Yeah.
But what that does, Nick, is that allows them to create new Jedi heroes. They can.
That's true too.
That's cool.
Kind of wild.
But what Josh was saying, this time is known for the Sith. I think it's I think that they're smart enough to go with that point of view.
I think so too.
You know what I mean? To show you a Star Wars movie from the point of the Sith.
And that's cool, but you need the Sith's main enemy was the Jedi. It was kind of like they wanted, and the Jedi stood in their way because they wanted to conquer the Republic.
Yeah.
And with this, and then so the Jedi were like that absolute, Sith. They disliked each other immensely, right? Even though they were a lot alike, but you can't tell a Jedi and you can't tell a Sith that. But it's that it would be cool to have the clashes. It's a lot of good potential story there.
And something that kind of got buried in these articles is that Rian Johnson's trilogy is still happening, and that it is going to be furthering the Star Wars story, but it's not going to be like anything we've ever seen before.
So is he gonna basically carry on in the future after
Right.
the?
It's
he's
going to
okay.
continue the story after Rise of the Skywalker.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Wow. All right. That's
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun because I kind of always I don't know. I always felt like once this movie is it. Well, yeah, we're closing the chapter on the Skywalker saga,
Right.
but that there's still characters. There's more to go with. I mean, I got you. All right.
And what they said in the article was that it's the end. Like Rise of the Skywalker is the end of the tale of the Jedi and the Sith.
Okay.
Like
So
that's over. So like, I don't know what's gonna happen, and I'm excited.
well, they almost are setting that up with Luke. The way Luke was talking in the Last Jedi was that there's no dark and light side. It's
just the Force,
right? And that's and there are actually in the EU there are Force wielders that kind of feel that way too. They don't.
Oh, Luke and Mace Windu do both from the main canon.
Very, very good point. Very good point. And that's one definitely who is someone who knows how to draw on. If you want to call it the light and the dark side, whatever, but he uses the Force for when he needs it, what he needs to use it for.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's exciting both ways.
I mean, is it?
Yeah.
What everyone say that I think the future of the Star Wars films is looking pretty bright. I mean,
they're in good hands.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be fun.
Going to the expanded canon too, and then going back into the Old Republic shit. It's opening up so many doors.
It is absolutely, and like I said, they don't have to tell the story exactly, but whenever they have source material, these two motherfuckers do some good shit.
Yeah,
I'm saying they with Game of Thrones was all about taking source material and just doing shit with it, and it was incredible what they did.
And going back to the Old Republic, like since it looks like it's going to be the Revan story. I mean, after that, where are you going to go besides Bane? I mean,
it's funny. Probably my two favorite Sith fucking lords. Well, Xana. Hopefully, Xana is involved. I hope
she has to
decide to just nix her. I mean,
she has to be.
She's the one that takes down Bane. How can you just?
It's like my thing. Yeah. Well, maybe, depending on how you interpret the end of that book, dude. But it's like
that's a good point.
If they just make that like her same character, but it's like give her a different name, I'm gonna be like, I mean, come on, just call her Xana, But we'll see. Because if they play these ones close to the source material, I think it'll be cool. I don't think it's gonna make anybody mad.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so either. No. But I'll dig on it, man. I'm excited that they're getting some good people involved, some people that know how to make, know how to tell a good story and how to make.
Yeah, dude, that's what it is for me, man. If they can tell a story, I'm on board.
Yeah, so am I. I'm down. Yeah.
All right. I think this is a good place to end.
Yeah, I was asking if you want to wrap it up.
Go unbroadcasted.
Not a bad show for a random show tonight.
Yeah.
Man. Solid discussion, gentlemen.
And
yeah, for sure.
Had a good time with it. It was good.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Best shows are when we nerd the fuck out.
Yeah. I know, right? It is.
The passion shines through.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So you guys know how I end every week. I love y'all. Thank you guys for coming by. Peace, love, and hair grease. Here's the credits.